Boredom is so unbearable that we would rather waste thousands of hours than take the time to make a productive plan for our life. So here's the one thing that you need to do in this new year that will wildly change your life. Make a list of all the things that would take 30 minutes to do. 100 items, 50 items, or even 3 items on this list. And the next time you feel yourself scrolling constantly on social media, do something on that list. If it would take 30 minutes and you would have spent 30 minutes watching YouTube videos or scrolling through social media, TikTok, Instagram, for just once a day, even, do one of these things on your list. And you'll realize that you didn't even want to be watching videos in the first place. You know, we all feel terrible after consuming hours upon hours of social media because it leaves us feeling blank, because that time just goes out the window. It goes to waste. We're not meant to waste away, right? We are meant to struggle. We are meant to work, to do something productive in this world. And when we don't get that feeling of struggle, we're putting ourselves at a discount, right? We're living a suboptimal life. Maybe that's what it is. The best example of this is runner's high. After you run, it's very difficult to go out there and run, right? It'd be much easier just to sit inside and scroll on social media. But when you're finished running, even if it's only a mile, there's this wave of positive brain chemicals that goes over you. And it's just so incredible that you're putting yourself in this difficult situation for a few minutes with the knowledge that as soon as you're done, you're going to feel so much better, right? And then you're living a new way. You're asking yourself, how did I not know about this my whole life? How was I living in a suboptimal state my entire life? You know, that's kind of what the goal for living in a productive way is. It's to understand that I didn't even want to be watching social media in the first place. I didn't even want to watch YouTube videos in the first place, or movies, or TV shows, or I didn't want to waste time, you know? But that was what was the easiest path of action to not have to suffer through boredom. And so, of course, I was going to take it, right? In hindsight, I should have known that without a productive plan, this is the things I would have fallen into. Stop beating yourself up for, scrolling for 10 hours on social media every single day when you don't have a plan for what to use that time for elsewise, right? You can't expect something of yourself without the necessary requirement. And the necessary requirement from you to be more productive is to have a plan of how to be productive, right? It sounds self-evident. Most things do, right? But we also don't do the things we should be doing, which means that usually the self-evident things, the ones that are obvious, are the ones that we should be doing in the first place, right? Write down a list of the things that would take 30 minutes and carry it with you. Make it a notebook. Make it a piece of paper. I don't care what it is. Do something so that it's visible and you can check this item off the list once you're done. And next time you feel terrible for the fact that you've just been scrolling on TikTok for forever, and then you realize that you snap out of it and you're like, holy cow, like, what am I doing? Just do one item on the list. How many times will you have to do that in order to realize that your actions have positive consequences, that you actually can make a dent in this massive dream that you have for your life, right? I'm saying this to you as much as I'm saying it to myself, which is the funny part about this entire YouTube channel. I'm giving this advice as if I'm saying it to you, when in reality, the doctor is giving a prescription to himself. I'm the doctor giving this prescription to myself. I find myself scrolling on TikTok all the time. If only I had written down a list of productive actions, that way I could spend 30 minutes doing something that would move my life forward. A life is made of habits. So all the things you do on a day-to-day basis are because it's a force of habit. It's difficult to live without habits, so our body, our brain has just evolved to do things on a consistent basis. And the one way to change that is to become aware of what you're doing habitually, the things that you want to be doing habitually, and then how you can move from where you are to where you want to be. But that takes some type of vision. It takes some type of destination to start moving towards it. So if you could just do one thing to be more productive this year, to actually achieve, to be more proud of yourself, to move forward, it would be to become more clear on what actually it is that you want to do and what are the steps that it would take to get there, and break it down into small pieces so that you can do one of those things every other day, every week, however frequently you can do it. It's much better to do something terribly than to not do it at all, right? Because you have to be able to do something terribly in order to be able to do something in general, and you have to be able to do something to be able to do something great. You know, Tyler and I were just talking over the phone. What's the goal for this new year? We both put down very similar things. Mine is to post one YouTube video about one marathon. That's all it is. Even though I want to run 50 marathons in all 50 states, one in all 50 states next year. Ideally, I'd want to post 50 videos throughout all 50 states. But what does that take? It takes posting one, right? In order to post 50, I have to start by posting one. And so my goal is to post one successful YouTube video. If I can do that, it becomes so much easier to move forward on this path. Look at this YouTube channel. This is the 53rd, 54th video that I've posted. It started by posting one, and I got into that habit, and now I love doing this every single day. His was to sell one house. And it's funny that without us knowing that those were our goals for this next year, we both put down, start with one. And then we came together and we laughed about it when we talked over the phone, because, people focus too much on the big goal, and that makes them, stagnant, because they're not able to approach this massive goal they have for themselves. When if they only broke it down into smaller pieces, they would be able to achieve this massive vision easily. Break it down into small pieces, bite-sized pieces. That way you can take a bite one bite at a time. You don't eat Thanksgiving dinner all at once. You eat it one bite, one spoonful at a time. Approach your life like Thanksgiving dinner. If you want to be full at the end of it, you have to start by eating one piece at a time. That's the motivational quotes we need nowadays. Why not us?